basketball coach's call-in show by Sosa. Since 1974, Haynes Total Healthcare has been proudly serving the Chillicothe community and surrounding counties, providing exceptional care to over 50,000 patients every year. Whether you're seeking chiropractic care, physical therapy, or nutritional guidance, we've got you covered. From athletes to seniors and from pediatrics to geriatrics, we treat patients of all ages, helping you live pain-free, stay active, and feel your best. With a place in the top 1% of clinics nationwide, you can trust that you're in good hands. We're open 6 days a week, ready to serve your family for years to come. Haynes Total Health Care Center, where healing happens for every stage of life. Call for an appointment today or visit us at hayneshealth.com. I'm Jeran Cox, and joined by my side, as always, is Matt Hoops and Christian Spradlin across the board from us over here. Glad he's back feeling better this week. And Coach, we've got some girls tournament basketballs kind of been underway, and we were just talking right before we came on air. Huntington girls big win over Zane Trace. They're cutting down nets in the district quarterfinals tonight.
Well, I mean, it used to be the sectional finals, right?
That's right.
So it was at Huntington?
It was at Huntington, yes.
Well, then cut away. It's their net.
That, you used to like have all these banners at the school celebrating their sectional championships. Do those go on there anymore? I mean, you're more recent in the coaching game than what I am. I'm not sure.
But this is just new for everyone, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know.
We need to get Coach Uhrig on the line tonight. We need to find out. I'm sure he'll want
Kyle
to tell
will
us
know
all about it.
And the answer is going to be yes.
Yes.
Because they are cutting them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
Other girls basketball has started. I think, did Piketon win the other night?
Piketon won. Piketon plays. They're going to have a really tough game. They're going to play Portsmouth in the the district semifinal, I guess.
Right, district semis. Now that'll be a neutral site game, right? The district semis are at.
Let's take a look here.
I'm pretty sure the quarterfinals are at the higher seed. The semifinals are the neutral site.
I just don't know where. Yeah, I think you're right. That's D5. That's new this year also. Then down on the bottom side of that bracket, Huntington will be playing Alexander. Alexander got a win tonight over Southeastern.
Did Huntington and Alexander play earlier this year?
They did. Huntington knocked them off.
Yeah,
because I remember Kyle talking about that. That was a big non-league win for them. So,
and then in D3,
we got two really, really good district semifinal games.
Right.
You got top seed Marietta. I believe they're undefeated. Is that right?
If they're not, they've maybe got one loss.
Yeah, they're phenomenal this year, and they play. This is their reward for being the one seed. Right. They get to play Sheridan.
Yeah, that's tough draw.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that bracket, you got Unioda hosting.
You got
Athens.
Unioda hosting Athens on Saturday, and that's a big time matchup too. You're looking at two league champions, TVC Ohio champs, SVC champs, and
do the winners of those two play for the district final?
The winner of those two play in the district championship game. So I believe that those have been at Southeastern in the past. I don't know. I should have checked before we came on, but that's going to be the place to be
next week. And then the following week too.
Yes.
Is when the boys district will be there also, the semis.
Absolutely. So
right.
I did, before we go to a break, want to give a quick shout out. My third grade girls basketball team went undefeated this year in the league and just won the tournament over at Zane Trace this past weekend. So really proud of them. 12 girls on the team. All 12 of them scored this year. All 12 of them got a lot better. So wanted to give them a quick shout out here before we go on a break. And just like I said, really, really proud of them. It's a good group of girls. They do well in soccer. They do well in basketball, and just hope all of them stick together.
And it's really nice. It really is nice watching you coach Unioda girls and wear Unioda colors. And it's just, having seen you in so many other colors, such as red, white, and blue with Zane Trace, the Adena colors, Southeastern, and Benton County. I really think you found your color. Purple looks good on you. It's hard to wear that color, believe me. Only a few of us can pull it off, and you're doing it well.
Well, somebody could have made a lot of money if they told me I'd have been wearing purple and gold at any point in my life.
I guarantee it. Same with Chris Beard.
That's exactly right.
When I see Chris in it, it just puts a smile on my face.
I saw him there the other day, a couple of weeks ago. We were getting ready to play a game. He's out there, and I was standing right beside him. It's like, Chris, it's a good thing nobody's taking a picture of us right now.
Oh, yeah, it's impressive. You guys eventually, you're in the dark for a long time, but you eventually find your way. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have Logan Elm boys basketball coach and Logan Elm standout player that's going to join us in the studio. We come right back from this break. Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa, also sponsored by Glow Fiber. Internet services for tonight's show are provided by Glow Fiber, delivering speeds and reliability that keep up with every need, from streaming and gaming to business demands. Give Glow Fiber a call at 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com. Joining us now is Logan Elm boys basketball coach Nate Dropsey. And Coach, I guess the one thing I was really wanting to ask about your team this year, 6-14 record, but there's been some positives for your team. And I know the Mid-State League is a tough league to play in. You got some really good teams up there. Just talk about, the improvement of your team as this season has went along.
Yeah, our guys, they come into practice every day wanting to get better. And it is, I feel like we play a pretty tough schedule. You see Fairfield Union twice, Bloom Carroll, Circleville's had a great year this year, and then Hamilton Township, runs the table in the league this year. Amanda's much improved, but I feel like from the start to where we are now, we are getting better. Defensively, I feel like we've been pretty sound all year. Offensively, it's been a challenge for us, a lot similar to last year. In the last couple weeks, we've changed some things up. Feel like we're executing a little bit better. We're getting some better looks and able to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, I think the one thing you started mentioning all those schools, and I guess I didn't truly realize until you said them that those are some really big schools. The Bloom Carrolls, the Hamilton Townships, all those schools, they're really big. And I always think of Logan Elm just being a Zane Trace guy, other than the purple and gold we were just talking about.
A former Zane Trace.
But like Logan Elm was never too far. It's not too far from Zane Trace, but I didn't really feel like it was that much bigger of a school than what Zane Trace was either. Do you feel like playing some of the bigger schools, is that a challenge for you, or how do you go about that?
Yeah, I never really think about the size of the schools. And obviously with Taze moving out and going to the OCC, I think we're all pretty similar in size. I mean, their enrollments are maybe up a little bit at a few schools, but I think our enrollment's about the same as Fairfield Union. In Circleville, that really doesn't play a role to me. I mean, I think it's great for us to have that competitive of a schedule every single night. And my assistant Jeremy and I were talking. You look at our schedule, and there's not a game on there that you think it's not going to be a battle. That's good come the end of February.
Yeah, and I think the one thing is, you just kind of hinted at it, that tough schedule, it prepares you for a tournament. You just think about the rich tradition, the history of Logan Elm. It just seems like 2-3 years ago you're seeing Logan Elm in the convo all the time. And when you play that type of schedule, that's what it prepares you for. It sounds like it's the same type of thing this year with you guys.
Yes.
One thing I heard you mention, you were talking about a little bit about your defense. Struggle a little bit offensively, but it seems like, and he kind of mentioned it too, is the tradition of Logan Elm starts on the defensive end, and it's always been that way. And I think you've done a great job of kind of carrying that tradition over from Coach Stuyvesant, Coach Holbert, and kind of kept your stamp on that as well. I was able to watch you guys play Bloom Carroll a couple weeks ago,
right,
and felt like, with the exception of one guy, defensively, you guys were right where you needed to be. It just so happened, I can't remember the kid's name, but he went off for him a little bit. And it wouldn't have mattered who was guarding that night. That kid, he threw it up, it went in. But just your defensive intensity, and then it created some easy shots for you offensively. So kind of just talk about, the defensive staple that Logan Elm is.
Yeah, I feel like, coming up through, this is, I think, my 14th year in the program at Logan Elm. And, learning from Coach Stuyvesant, Coach Holbert, and those guys. I mean, just going to their practices when I coached 3 years of junior high, that was the focus, and our first hour of practice every day is nothing but defensive build-up drills into some live action. And I think for us to be successful, we have to try to be the hard-nosed, the tough team, the team that's going to hit you when you drive, and try to make every possession, really, really challenging.
If I remember correctly, and it may have been some summer games that we would go up there and play Logan Elm, it may have been painted on the floor, but the midline was either taped down, or it was. I vividly remember that.
Yeah. We in the McDowell gym,
yeah,
before we got it resurfaced and everything like that. Yeah, we'd throw tape straight down the midline all the way down the court, and it didn't matter if we were in the half court or if we were in our 4-11 pressure. We were getting ball level and getting all the way over.
Yeah, the paint was. It just seemed like it was always clogged. If you wanted to play out of it, you're going to have to skip it and pray for a bad closeout, which didn't happen very often.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off that, just the midline defense and stuff. Obviously, the game of basketball and the offensive philosophy has changed so much in just 5 to 10 years. All these kids are shooting threes and they're shooting them deeper out. Is it? Have you maybe changed your philosophy? Maybe telling kids maybe don't get all the way to the midline, maybe stay out more to your man, or just talk about your strategy with that?
No, we stress getting to the midline.
Okay.
We stress that every single day. We typically start practice with a closeout drill, and closing out from different angles and making sure that it's a sprint, not a slide, that sort of thing. But we feel like, especially with us always being undersized, we have to guard as a group, and we talk a lot about jabbing early and trying to make them give it up or pick that dribble up as early as we can.
You talked about a little bit about being undersized, and I know you guys lost some of your size with losing Keegan Deal.
Yeah.
Kind of just talk about the impact that had, but also how he's still heavily involved in the program as a senior. I only say this because I've known and I've seen that kid grow up, and it was sickening to see happen. But and I know probably even worse for you, but But just the way he stayed involved and kind of just stayed a part of the Logan Elm basketball brotherhood through it all.
Yeah, I mean, Keegan, he's not a guy that's ever going to put up 10, 12 points. But, his tremendous leadership is something that you can't teach. And, he's a 6-foot post for us. And, he was so basketball smart. He knows how to guard. He knows how to use, his strength to defend. And, he got hurt in the Washington courthouse game, actually the second game of the year. Didn't tell anyone.
Right.
Played the next 4 games on a torn ACL, no brace, never missed a practice. We didn't know anything was wrong with him until finally his parents took him to get that, and we got that news. He had his surgery on the 27th and was upset that he couldn't be at our game against Tays. And the day after surgery, we played Westfall at home in the Brad Morris Classic. And he was on the sideline. He's wears a coaching pullover like us.
He looks old enough.
He does. He does. He's got the full beard. It's better than mine. But no, he's part of our halftime talks before we go into the locker room, and he does a great job with some of our younger post guys. Ethan Manson, Zane Seamer of helping them and coaching them up at practice.
Yeah. So kind of your glue guy.
Yes.
And anytime you lose the glue. Just kind of talk about how others have had to step into that role and kind of maybe almost do it as a team to keep others together like once he went out.
Right. Yeah. Leadership is a hard thing. It's a very difficult thing, and I feel I'm pretty blessed at Logan Elm with this group. We have guys that lead by example, and Nehemiah's going to come on here. He's grown even more as a leader. He's extremely vocal at practice, and he holds guys accountable for doing things right. When we were going through our stretch where we weren't playing real good basketball, we were really working on just little things, and I remember Nehemiah stopping a drill and saying that's not right, like we're doing it again. And those little things when
Huge.
It comes to this part of the year, it really helps. And losing the big, we've asked Nehemiah at times to guard the 5, helps us rebounding a little bit, having him and his size and strength underneath. So we're coming together as a group, and hopefully it's at the right time.
Right. And I think as a coach, that's what you like to see. You want to see your team have success, and you want to see your team do well and win league championships and things like that. But anytime you can see players grow as people,
Absolutely.
We're all competitive. We want to win, but that's a huge win too.
That's one of the big reasons we do what we do.
Right.
And it's some things are bigger than basketball, and
that'll carry on forever.
Absolutely.
Keegan accepting what he's going through and having the character he is. You talked about Nehemiah and maybe upping his leadership when he had to, and being able to do that and still be the man is it's sometimes difficult, but it's good when it happens.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk to Nehemiah here in just a little bit, but you talked about him maybe having to change his role defensively. Just hit his 1,000th point there. Was that a week or 2 ago?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Just talk about maybe the added stuff that's been thrown on him and just how he's responded, just as a senior leader for you.
Yeah, and it goes back to when Nehemiah was a sophomore. His freshman year, he got hurt. He hurt his knee in a JV game about halfway through the year. And as a sophomore then, Nehemiah was going to be a huge part of the varsity, team and what we could do. We lose Tanner Holbert in football.
Yeah.
And then, I think it was game 4, Braylon Baker tears his ACL against Circleville. And, now as a sophomore, we're asking Nehemiah to do, senior level things.
He went from the 3rd option to 1 in a blink of an eye without any experience to get there.
Yes.
That's asking a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that, we talk about is we've been fortunate where our younger guys coming up through the program have seen what it takes. And obviously with Jeff Holbert coaching his son, seeing what it takes when you are the leader.
Right.
And Nehemiah has learned that and continuing to learn that. And I think that's when you see him on both ends of the floor, really excelling right now.
Right.
Coach, you talked about you've been in Logan Elm, I think, for 17 years now in the program.
I've taught for 17. I've been coaching for 14.
14, okay.
14 now, yeah.
What's been your favorite memory being involved with Logan Elm basketball?
Easy. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Yes, fortunately there are. Man, I think.
You can say it just because he's sitting here.
I'll say
special. The first year coach, believe me, that would be mine.
Yeah. There's two. There's that win when we were, I think we were the 7th seed.
Oh yeah.
And we got on a run that year, and I think we beat Miami Trace, then we beat Jackson when they had, was it Wallace?
Well, they were like the 2 seed. I remember you upset them. Well, that was COVID, right?
Yeah, that was 2020. You know, then we go down to the Convo and we match up against Athens and we're playing really well, and then we run into Warren, and we get a 5-point win in the district title game against a really, really good Warren team. That's a special memory. But as a head coach. Coach,
oh, it is.
That was an incredible feeling. Both those games against Washington Courthouse. I mean, we came in as a 14 seed against the 3 last year, and man, we're down 20-9 at half. Down 20 to 8, and then we gave up 9 in the second. Went to overtime at 29-29. We had some things sort of go our way at the end. We were talking about before the show, and. Nemaya executes a set we had never run, and he gets the ball and takes one dribble pull up on the baseline and gets fouled, steps in and makes the free throw, and then being able to win the sectional championship and get back to Convo was, I'll never forget that feeling.
Yeah, and as much as it hurt me, obviously, I was happy for you because what a ride that is. Because first of all, no one expected you to do it.
Right.
Second of all, you get to the sectional final, and it's completely opposite. You're the Washington Courthouse now, where you guys are just lighting the nets on fire.
Yeah, shot it well.
You guys had a 11 or 12 point halftime lead.
Yep.
Then Unioda had to come back,
right?
And we were able to do that. But then you guys just made one final play at the end, which it's all, I want to say storybook, And we know when we get into this, when we sign up, there's going to be a winner and a loser,
right?
And that night was just who had the ball less, and it happened to be you guys. So
right, that
it was
game,
cool.
It was, and to be able to, and I appreciate those words, but to be able to go and coach up against you, what I mean. Obviously, I've seen you guys in your program and what you've accomplished in all your years there, and that it's special to go up against great coaches, great programs with a tremendous amount of history.
I appreciate it. That we've had Logan Elm Union had some really good battles there over the last 6 or 8 years.
Right. Well, the district semi when you had Swackhammer against Ridge.
Yeah, that was another one. And then when we had Isaac Little in that group.
Oh yeah, in the district semi at our place.
I think we were the 7th seed and you guys were the 2.
Yes.
And we found a way to get it done. So it all balances out.
It's a funny game.
So, but yeah.
What advice or what would you tell a young coach? How big of a difference is it going from like assistant coach to like maybe 6 inches over to the head coach seat? Talk to the young coaches out there about all the differences.
Well, I mean, I've lost a lot of hair in the last year and a half. It's high school basketball, but it comes with a tremendous amount of pressure. At least that's what I feel, because when you go out and do something, you want to do it right every single day, and that's from watching film before school starts to teaching a full day, and then watching more film and being prepared for practice, and then you're in charge of a group of 20, 25 high school kids that you care about, you love, you want to be around, not just in basketball, but making sure they're doing well outside of school. So there's no better feeling in the world to be a head coach, no matter what the pressure is. But you have to enjoy it, and take the small wins and just keep building, keep working.
Favorite practice drill?
Favorite practice drill. I like 5-man rush. It's like a transition type of defensive drill. We'll call out a kid's name. The varsity guys will start at the free throw line. They got to touch the baseline and get back in transition. We feel keeps our energy up. We have to work on our rotations and closeouts and making sure that we're getting to the ball side and trying to
Communication's huge in that too. Yeah,
Yes.
That's a good one.
Anything else, Coach?
I think we covered it all.
I think you
Some
look a little
hurt,
upset
some
after.
hurt, some good memories, some bad. But that's what happens when you're in this seat. You got to talk about all of it, you know. And no, I just Logan Elm's always had a great program. You've been a part of it for a long time. You're continuing it on, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing it the right way, and thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Coach. When we come back, we're going to have Logan Elm standout basketball player Nehemiah Waugh join us. welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. And joining us now is Logan Elm senior standout basketball player Nehemiah Waugh. And Nehemiah, you're one of the most recent 1,000-point scorers here in the area. And just walk us through getting that 1,000th point. How'd that happen?
Well, I mean, it started off with, like, my team. They knew I was close, so they were going to just feed me the ball and just let me go to work, honestly. And the trust of Coach Dropsey, he told me before, he's like, go get it. It's right there. He reminded me week after week how close I was. And, I just went and did my thing. Got it.
What kind of shot was it?
Yeah. I mean, it was
Deep three,
yeah. Deep three off the dribble and one bank.
And one bank.
And one bank.
Three-pointer.
Yes, sir.
For your 1,000th point.
you can blame the defender. You know what I mean? Like, they would have swished if he wouldn't hit your arm.
Exactly,
right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
I'd be blaming him,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, where I teach at, it is an unwritten rule in the rule book. If you bank in a three, the game is over.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you should
Yeah.
lose that game.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But, no, congratulations on that. That's a big
Thank you.
feat. I feel like, that's probably something you're glad to maybe get off your shoulders
Oh,
and
yeah.
relax a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I can finally breathe again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was going to ask you. Like, you said Coach reminded you. How much did that weigh on you as the season was going on? Like, you probably knew there was a really good chance of getting it, but until you get it, you just never know. So did that really weigh on you? Because I know I've seen some kids, like, it's just completely affected their game, and I've had to sit them down and just say, listen, I can't play you unless you got to get out of your head, because you got to still be able to play the game.
Yeah. But no, not really. I mean, coming into the game, I was a little bit nervous because, it was packed out. That night, everyone knew I was going to hit it. And, like, going off what Coach Dropsey said about Keegan Deal being the leader, I told Keegan, I was like, hey, I'm freaking out. He's like, why? I was like, if I don't get this 1,000, people are going to, like, start saying stuff. He was like, just play. I was like, it's going to come to you, and just play. Trust your teammates, get them open early, and, 16 will come. So I did. And then,
Yep, you did it. You did it well, man.
thank you.
So obviously, you've been a standout basketball player for a while. I watched you play football. Had a really good season, wide out for Logan Elm. Back to basketball. Talk about how your game has evolved, like from a freshman all the way to now. Like, how has your game changed?
Coming into my freshman year, I couldn't really shoot, so, like, I had to just, I was just straight drive, and then, I knew. I mean, like, graduated senior Tanner Holbert was like, you know what, you should develop a three, because, teams are going to learn that if you can't shoot, they're going to sag off. So, him helping me, sophomore, him getting hurt his senior year, we really worked on me developing my three ball and, like, off the dribble type stuff. So that helped me tremendously coming in, having to step up. So, yeah.
If I remember right, maybe I'm not, but and I've watched a ton of film back then. Didn't you hit a three to win the game your sophomore year against Circleville, or am I imagining that?
Yeah, big shot.
Okay, three, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Number 10 at the time.
Yeah.
Switched it up to 24, went 10 to Kobe on us, didn't you?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yep, I remember that. So,
Yeah, we were just talking to your coach a few minutes ago and just talked about, like, your leadership on the team this year. How do you approach that as being like a senior leader for some of the younger guys on your team?
Well, first and foremost, coming in wanting to win every game. If I come in fired up, ready to win, my team follows. It's just contagious at that point. But just try to keep my guys positive when they're doing bad, and then I rely on them to help me. Because I have my bad moment. So if I lift them up, they're going to lift me up, and then we just continue as a team pushing forward like that. So,
how big was this? The first year you played football in high school, or did you?
I played my freshman year, but then I quit. I was like,
Okay.
yeah, it's not for me.
How much did that help you coming into this year after having a successful football season and being a senior? How has that kind of translated into your basketball game this year?
I feel like it helped me get definitely stronger. I feel like last year I got bumped around a little bit on the drive. So me playing football, having developing like a strong base, guys can't really push me around as much. So yeah.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, and you were talking to, like, kids that are 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you think it would be beneficial to them to play every sport, not just focus on one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, every sport helps you work out every different muscle in your body that you realize, and that can help you translate to any sport you play.
Yeah, I feel like that's important.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like, and Coach, you can jump in if you want, but it just feels like in today's world, man, it just feels like these kids, they try to focus on one sport like way too early, and then if that doesn't work out for them, they're kind of just out of luck. So.
Yeah. My thing with that is I feel like and I feel like we start them maybe way too young. You know what I mean? The earlier someone starts something, I feel like the sooner they quit it.
Mm-hmm.
Both my boys played baseball at 5 and 6 years old, and that's what they wanted to do. But at the same time, that's the first sport that they stopped playing. But I just feel like, especially at the schools that we have around here, the size of schools that we have, our athletes need to be playing all the sports if they can. Now if you're a standout, basketball or football player, and you're going to sign a Power 4 scholarship and get your school paid for it and be able to enroll early,
that's a different story.
Yeah. But 9 times out of 10, all of and we have great athletes, and they need to be playing multiple sports for sure.
Yeah. Now, we've talked about you hitting 1,000 point. We talked about you hitting a game-winning shot against Circleville your sophomore year. Is there any other maybe big moments that stand out to you, most memorable moments you've had playing basketball through high school?
You can say it, man. It's already on the table. We broke the ice earlier. Hey, that was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
I think I'm over it.
Yeah, definitely winning that game against Unyoda. That was a big one coming in. We really wanted that one. I mean, I think that we could practice. We were locked in that we could practice. I mean,
you guys could have punted the ball in the first half.
Yeah, we could. We could
sure.
not miss.
No.
Yeah,
and it wasn't just you. I mean, it was everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It was contagious.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I mean, you guys were well prepared for sure. Yeah, that was. I figured that was coming. I didn't think you were going to serve it up on a platter.
I'm going to ask another tough question, but it's he's not coaching there anymore, but. You guys did draw Unyoda again in the tournament this year. Like, you guys have like maybe a certain level of confidence, or maybe confidence is the word I'm looking for, just a little bit of familiarity there, because since you guys played them last season?
Yeah. I mean, we already have like a bunch of film of those guys, so like we're ready. I mean, we have Zane Trace, but like we're going to use Zane Trace to, work on some things we worked on in practice to get ready for those guys. And they're hungry, they're coming back, they're mad, they want revenge, so we're going to, hopefully can repeat what we did last year.
Yeah.
I'm just a fan. I'm just going to be in the stands, relaxed, just watching good basketball.
Now, I saw a picture of you the other day in the stands that you weren't relaxed at Amanda.
No. Do you know what happened?
Well, tell me about it.
No, wasn't relaxed. I was extremely excited.
Yeah.
This is a really cool story. My mom, I think, put that on today.
Yeah.
So Amanda Clear Creek has a young man that has Down syndrome, plays on their JV team. Mm-hmm. In the fourth quarter, Unyoda was up, and so they both benches subbed, and they put him in, and everyone kind of backed away, and they let him make a layup. So that was cool. Like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
As the fourth quarter went on, it was like the last 20 seconds. He ended up at the ball, and he's dribbling it up, and his coach is like, trying to play the role of, hey, they already gave you your shot, just dribble it out, and so he's dribbling it out, and he's side-eyeing the coach like he's looking at that rim, and he's side-eyeing him, and I'm behind the coach like, show that. And I don't know if the coach heard me say that, but like under like 5 seconds left, he was like, go ahead. And man, he just one dribble, caught it in rhythm, and just buried it. Nothing but net.
Yeah, that's
no
awesome.
bank. Nothing but net. Swish.
That's awesome.
And it was sweet because, both sides were cheering. You could see in our hallway, our varsity guys were cheering. Our cheerleaders were cheering.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a really cool moment. And obviously, like I was talking with Coach, we all want to win. But the athletics and the game of basketball, man, it just goes beyond that. When you're a part of moments like that. Yeah, so I was standing up.
Yeah, I saw. Is that Hoops over there?
So happy for that kid. It was one of the coolest things I've seen.
Yeah. No doubt. Now, Maya, talk to us a little bit about your team this year. Like, what are they like personality wise? You guys like loose going into games? Everybody real serious? What's your teammates like?
I mean, we're calm. We're vibing in the locker rooms, ready to go, locked in. I mean, we all want to win, so it's just like hyping each other up and just getting ready to go.
Who has
to
the
war.
aux? Who has the aux cord? Who's on
It's either me or Zane Seymour. Yeah.
What's a go-to song?
Go to I don't know, some Drake.
Some Drake?
Yeah.
Ooh, even after the Super Bowl, were you still Drake fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Dropsey ever get any requests put in there? Or?
No. No.
Oh man.
Oh, shoot. Who's your favorite basketball player?
Kobe for sure.
Kobe.
I love Kobe. Yeah.
Okay. Any superstitions, pregame rituals, anything like that?
No, not really.
Not really.
Not really. No.
Okay. Coach, you got anything else?
Unfortunately, I think we've covered it all. I prepared myself mentally coming in. I mean, I asked these guys to come on to this thing.
I know.
I knew what I was getting myself into, but I think,
I was trying to hint around it a little bit, but
Yeah.
I just had to lay it out there. I mean, I didn't know what else to.
We're all grown-ups here. We can handle it. But, no, I mean, great career. Obviously, best of luck the rest of the way. And, appreciate both you guys for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, when we come back, we're going to have more coaches lined up on the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches call-in show by Sosa. Back here, we're getting ready to get a coach on the line, Coach Hoops, but it was good to have those guys from Logan Elm in here. We don't really talk to a whole lot of coaches up north of Ross County, and it was good to hear from those guys.
Well,
tonight.
I mean, it's just, Logan Elm's I guess you want to call it a blue blood program when you think of Southeast District basketball, and they may not have won as many games as they wanted to this season, but they play the game the right way. They've got an outstanding player, and Coach Dropsey's been in that program for a long time, and he's still doing the things that Logan Elm basketball's always done. So yeah,
they've developed some rivalries, with some schools in the SVC, and I always feel like if the SVC would ever expand, that's a really good fit.
Really good fit. I agree.
Good fit because some of the other schools he was talking about in their conference, man, they're so big. And like you talk about Taze Valley, they're going to the OCC and Bloom Carroll. And
yeah, I mean, and you think of Logan Elm, their makeup of what Logan Elm is rural, farm, country, SVC type school. So, I agree. If there's I don't know what's ever going to happen with that, but they would definitely fit in.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, okay, looks like we have our first coach on the phone line tonight. We got Fairland boys basketball coach Nathan Speed. Coach, you out there?
Sure.
Cool. Coach, thanks for taking the time to talk to us tonight. I know you're busy. I had parent-teacher conferences. I was in the same boat, but glad we got a chance to talk to you, and wanted to talk to you about a few different things. I guess the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was just the fantastic game that you guys had there just the other night.
Yeah, really good game. Coming off playing them Friday and turn around playing and, another overtime game. I even thought this game was a little cleaner by the teams as far as execution, things like that. But just, I thought it was just fantastic. One of the best things I've been a part of. Really.
Yeah, Coach, I was able to watch that last night and talk to you a little bit last night after the game, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Not that either team's defense was bad. I just feel like both teams' offense was really, really good. You guys were just going right at each other, and it just seemed like big shot after big shot was being made all the way through, regulation and then both overtimes.
Yeah, it's had a good flow. Both teams were shooting well and offensively, and it was a lot of ball movement. And like I said, just kids stepped up, made some big shots. I think did a few big shots tonight. In overtime, fourth, in late in the game.
Coach, I mean, what are the odds that both times you played them this year that you guys would go to double overtime?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been a part of that. To be honest, we've had, we had a double overtime game in Ironton, 2 with them. I think we went to overtime. The point was 1 overtime. So this is the most overtimes we've had. I don't even think Brody remembers.
You need a raise, Coach. Too many overtime.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That's it'll fly.
And then it kind of looks like, if you play the number game, just looking at the tournament draw, that there could be a potential rematch there in the district championship game.
Yeah. There's a chance for it. But in tournament, you can't get that far ahead.
Right.
You got to get ready for the first round, get around, and then you do those things when the time comes.
Yeah. No, I wanted to make a comment to you, Coach, and then I'll let Coach Hoops talk. But I think when I was watching that game last night, the one thing that really stood out to me, and I was very impressed with watching your team, is maybe it's more so up here in Ross County where we're at, but it seems like a lot of the kids, they're either driving all the way to the basket to score or they're spotting up to shoot threes. And I was just really impressed with a couple of your kids that, they're going off the dribble and they're just stopping on a dime and pulling up and shooting a jump shot. Is that something you guys work on a lot in practice down there?
It's in the flow of our offense. I think, there's looks that we do get. In the year we weren't weren't making good decisions with that. We were just trying to get all the way to the rim and force things. And, we've gotten better as the year goes on, not settling and moving the ball and doing the best to get an uncontested shot. And I think that was all of it was, all offensive ball. We started getting better looks and knowing to take the mid-range stuff.
Yeah, Coach. Are you guys finished up, or you have one more game left?
No, we finished.
Finished.
We're Williamsburg on, was it Brody?
Monday?
Yeah, we switched to Williamsburg Monday, or no, Tuesday, and then just Wednesday. Well, it's not. We were out of school, they were, so we could play it, and I know we're going to make it up.
Got you. Coach, you happen to have Brody there with you. I know we talked a little bit last night about him possibly coming on. If he's there, we'll talk to him
He's
next.
right here.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Brody, you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, it's Coach Hoops. Obviously, congratulations on a great senior season. I was talking to Coach a little bit last night. It felt like, that game was back and forth. Anything you can do, I can do better, kind of with you and 22 last night. I can't remember his name, but just talk to me about the moment of that game and it being on the road and having to go 2 overtimes to win it. Just talk about the feeling of that moment.
I think our schedule is really helped us be prepared for that moment and those moments. Going on the road and playing in overtime, playing against good teams, and then playing in an environment that is always super fun. So it's something we as a team try to always never take for granted.
Yeah, I felt like you're basically the point guard, the guy that runs that whole show, and if it's, I don't know if this is the right thing to say or not, but you had 35 last night, and I don't want to say they were quiet because you had 35 points, but I just really felt like you took shots when you needed to take shots, and you got guys involved when you needed to get them involved. Kind of just talk about your thought process and your mindset through the flow of a game.
I'm just always make the winning play, right play. I've never cared about my score or anything like that. If I drive in, they help, I'm passing it. If they don't, I'm going to shoot it. It's always about the right play and not about anything else. So that's all I was trying to do.
Yeah, Brody, this is Jeran. I mean, obviously, you've had a really great season, a really great career. What's been maybe your most favorite moment you've had up to this point?
There's a lot. I think always winning in the tournament is great, which we're obviously going to do this year. But I think any game like we're talking about the last couple nights, where it's rivalry game, big crowds. I don't think I can pick one in particular, but just throughout my 4 years, those games are my favorites. So.
The other thing I was going to ask you, Brody, do you ever get a break from basketball? I mean, you're around Coach Speed, your dad coaches the girls. I mean, is it just basketball 24 hours a day down there?
Yeah, but that's what I wanted. I want a break. I love it. So.
We can make him take breaks. I'll teach him out of the gym.
Either you got to hide your keys or his dad's got to hide his.
Told him he's going to be in deal if I see him one time when he's not supposed to be in the gym.
I just remember, Coach, it's been forever ago now, but we came down there to scrimmage, and that was a long, long bus ride, and you guys whipped our tails pretty good that day. And I got a really good taste of kind of what Fairland basketball was and where it was going. Some of the guys you had like Chance Short and some of those guys back then, and it just seems like you guys really, really took off about that time and just have never slowed down since.
Yeah, I think it's just, I felt when we first started, and when I first came in the very first year, I got hired like mid-October. So I didn't have summer, that first year. And, the kids weren't as used to me. And we had a good season. I think but that first year we made it to the district final.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I think it just has evolved as it's, got established. We try to play fundamental on defense and offense. Don't turn the ball over. Don't leave your feet defensively. Just be fundamental. I think the kid kind of grow into that, and 100% helps. I've coached a lot of great players. It's helped a lot.
Yeah. So you told me you're done with your regular season, Coach. Obviously, we appreciate both of you guys coming on here. What does your tournament look like? I'm assuming you had to get a bye, so you're probably waiting to play the winner of someone. Who is that, and when will that be?
Yeah. It's the winner of Pine River Valley, and we would play. They play Monday, and we would play Thursday, Friday next.
Gotcha. So how do you going to give Brody any days off before that, or are we going to allow him in?
Yeah, they got definitely earned the day off. They took the day off. Sure.
Yeah, and here we are keeping you guys up late on your day off.
No. He slept till 11, got up and worked out for 3 hours. Would be my guess. But we took the day off, and we'll take off probably Sunday. And then start Monday getting ready and going over tournament stuff.
All right, Coach. Well, we definitely appreciate you guys hanging out here and waiting on us tonight. And, congratulations on another great season. Brody, congratulations on a great senior year. And hopefully, the Fairland can continue that tournament success and get all the way there this year.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks,
all right,
Coach.
Thanks.
I'm telling you, I went down there and we after one quarter, I was about ready to go back home.
You probably had to go down there too before that bypass was built, so it took even longer. Is what I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah, Fairland and West Virginia are the same thing. Fairland and Marshall, Huntington. I mean, they're touching each other basically.
They are.
Chesapeake right there with them.
They are. I think my first year coaching boys, I think he was talking about getting to the district finals. I think we were winning. This one I was at Southeastern. I think we were winning by like 10 or 11 at halftime. I was like, we're in a really good place. No.
Against them?
Against them.
Oh, man.
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
We ended up losing by 3 or 4 or something like that. And it just, to me, it just feels like they've taken off since that time.
I mean, he's established the program. He's got really good players, and he does it the right way. So that's what happens when those things mix.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I think we have our next coach on the line, and I believe that we have Franklin Furnace Green girls basketball coach Melissa Knapp. Are you out there, Coach?
I'm here. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Little past my bedtime. I'm doing all right.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. It's late for a weeknight, isn't it?
Yeah.
We appreciate you staying up and talking to us, and obviously you guys have had just a phenomenal year. You're 21-1, and getting ready to start tournament play. Haven't had the chance to talk to you yet this year, and we know you have a couple of really good players. But just talk about your team, and what are some of the things you're really proud of about your team this year.
Well, our record stands out, but we had a stretch of games here, and I just counted. We had 8 games in about 13 days. And within the games in 13 days, the highlight of that was our game with Notre Dame, our second. And there.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so the highlight to me was that second Notre Dame when we got the league title. We were in the middle of, like I said, a insane stretch. I mean, that's crazy. We make up games 8 and 10 days, and I don't know. Down the stretch, we're kind of strong. We as you mentioned, 2 outstanding players. Abby Knapp. I don't know whose kid she is, but anyway,
she's averaging a double-double. You better claim her.
I guess I can claim her. And then we've got Maggie Slip. That's her sidekick, and she's average. I think her average is up to about 14 now. I haven't updated my step. I'm 2 games behind. But anyway, just great players, but I'm gonna tell you what stood out to me this season. Last year we heard a lot better, and it was all you're so dimensional, you know. And Hayslip has grown a lot. I mean, leaps and bounds since last year, but that's what we heard was, oh, it's the app show and everything. Well, you know, and looking at stats, I mean, we've hit like 103s. Maddie's hit 50 of those, but you know, we have more kids contributing this year. This is more of absolutely a team effort, and I think that's what stands out to me. We're excited to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to ask you about too is, you know, you guys were really competitive last year, and you know we were able to talk to Notre Dame's coach earlier in the season. They just had like an ungodly win streak. I'm wanting to say it was like maybe close to 130 games, somewhere around there in the league.
League games at 126.
Yeah.
We broke the streak. The first game this year we played.
Yeah, I mean, you know, once you guys knocked them off that first time, did you feel like maybe your team's attitude or their confidence changed? Like, hey, we're the team to beat now. I mean, that stretch is almost unbelievable. I don't know how many years that is. I'm probably at least 10 years, I would assume.
I think it went back to 2014 for Notre Dame because I came back. I coached from 98 to 05 and 7 years off. I came back and I think that started around 2010 because I know since I've been back in 12, we beat them. Now our last league title was 25 years ago, and it was that was when I coached before. So it's been a long dry streak. I think that their streak was from 2010.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, obviously that really probably gave your girls a big boost in confidence, and it's just kind of carried over. And you know what's the tournament draw looking like for you guys, Coach?
Well, we got a bye. We did not have to play tonight. We got the winner of Valley and Manchester, which was Valley. They just won by 20. So we played them on Tuesday. 6:15 at Wellston, and then if we advanced, we would play looking down the road Saturday. Just opinion, I would say rematch with Gaia from the first game of the season. I would think that's not anybody else. I'm just that could happen. You know, they're playing right now as well.
Gotcha. The other thing I wanted to ask you, and maybe I'll flip you over to Coach Hoops, but you know, you said you talked about coaching from 1998 to 2005. You took some time off and you came back. What's, you know, what one or two things really stands out to you that has changed in the game of basketball in that time frame?
Well, kids can't shoot. I mean, it's to me like, you know, I shouldn't say shoot. I should say swing. And I just don't think it's defense. I mean, especially in the game. There are a lot of games, including myself. The first 5 years I was back, we could probably count on one number of games we won. We had to build it back. We won 7 years, and I just couldn't believe it. I just don't put the time in. I mean, I think, no, on the counter of that, my team put hours and hours in the gym. And like I said, we're really starting to well back. I think that the scoring, it's not what, and the numbers are so far down. It's like I put the work in, but to me, the biggest thing is team, and you know, like prolific schools. There's not as many. It doesn't seem like.
Coach, do you think that you know, you talk about not being able to score, but like too many kids are playing AAU, in my opinion, and you know they're just wasting their time playing games and still not being any good at it. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like you're just taking an average player playing AAU and staying average and not developing your skills or your fundamentals at all.
I agree. I'm on the circuit. You said we're with Abby. She's been playing travel ball years, and I do see an awful lot of parents that are wasting their money. I mean, at some point, you got to stop and you got to put the work in. You know, when Abby was younger, we didn't play quite travel ball. We would go to Clayton at Sports City U, and I took all three of mine. And I graduated in 93. My son, he plays for our boys. And then he's a junior. And then Abby, we made regular trips, kind of like Coach Clayton would straighten it out. And then we would come back to the gym, run out. It's repetition. You have to put the time in. I think there's too many big dreams. At some point, you realize, are we doing travel ball? does my child want to play at the next level? Are they good to play at the next level? If they want to play and they're not good enough, what should we, should we stop and try to work, skill work? I mean, my kids are fortunate. We got a key to the gym. They can get anytime. But parents are just, it's wasteful spending. That's the way I see it. For these kids.
I agree. And if it's hard to do when you're involved with your kid, and everyone wants what's best for their kid, and that's the way it should be. But like if we want to really honestly take a look at it, or just take a step back and just you can almost just ask yourself, okay, how many players from here have played in college? And that percentage is extremely low. Not just at your school. I mean, it's everywhere.
Right.
And
I agree.
And I try to tell kids all the time, these 4 years of high school and the games that you play and the rivalries that you have and the opportunity to play in front of your friends and family and in front of crowded gyms, these are way better than, unless you're playing at Ohio State, these times are way better than anything you can get in college.
I agree. I played in college, and I get it. I just it my mind. Like I said, it's something you have to have an honest conversation with your child. And a friend that's recently done that, and they drop out of the travel ball area. She just wants to be maybe 1,000 before, and she's having a good time in high school, and let's have a good high school career. Realize that, and and they're probably going to step out off the circuit. And that's good for them. You have to have. I just think too. There's a lot of time, parents, and maybe I my son in baseball. I don't know, but people are just like, they think they're kids. They are. I mean, that's harsh. I don't mean to be.
No, and I think a lot of times if they would have that conversation, it may take a lot of pressure off of the kid, and he or she would actually say, you know what, you're right. I just thought you wanted me to do this, so that's why I'm doing it. I mean, I've seen that happen before.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
My oldest, she played, Anna played, and she was a great player, and she started out. She played a couple years of travel basketball, and when she decided to go to play college ball, it was fine. So we stopped travel ball, and it took the pressure off her. She was happy. Everyone was happy, and we went with life. And that's just like you said. You have to be real, I guess.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us this evening. And wish you the best of luck in the tournament. And, as the tournament keeps going on, maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you here later in the season. You guys roll, into the district finals, regionals, or something like that.
Oh, sounds great.
Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that's an interesting take. I mean,
especially with someone that's kind of seen it from both sides a little bit, and took time off and then came back to it. But I just feel like sometimes our kids are just playing too much and not developing at all.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
No, you're 100% right, and I just keep going back to, as she was talking, I was sitting here thinking in my head, like, people going out and they're planning all these tournaments and stuff like that. You're better off going to a gym and getting like a skill coach or whoever. Maybe your coach, maybe it's a skills coach, and spend an hour at a time, maybe 3 days a week with the guy working, and you'd be better off. You're going to improve your game that way. Like, yeah, you can work on that on game situations during practice and the season time, but ultimately, if that's what your goal is, to get recruited, you're going to get better as a player working on your skills, not playing necessarily as a team.
Yeah, I mean, and I know you have to get out there in front of people.
Oh, you do.
But ultimately,
yes,
if you're good enough,
they're going to find you.
They will find you. Yep. But it's just a fine line. It really is, because you want to try to give your kids the best of everything and let them have opportunities and things like that. But at some point, you gotta be honest. You gotta be real and
find out what their goals are.
And the skill has got to match. That level.
Yep.
So,
and that's the one thing I think that's interesting, as we look at some of the kids in this area. I feel like the athletes have gotten better, but the skill, I don't know if there's necessarily been a big jump in that. And you just look at some of the things that are available to them to work on their athleticism, and they spend the time with that, but you got to work on your skills.
Right, I agree. I mean, let's just take Unioto for example. I mean, Jason Cruz, 6'7", probably top 2 or 3 players that have ever played at Unioto. I mean, he played NAIA basketball, and he could do everything. Now, he was a national championship. He was a player of the year in his conference. And had a really good college career, but we're talking had the size, had all the ability, and it was NAIA basketball, first at Rio Grande, then at Embry-Riddle down in Daytona, Florida. So, like, it just – you got to be real.
It's like the same thing with like Chris Beard.
Right.
Rio Grande.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Chris Beard, unbelievable basketball player.
Yeah.
But guess what? He was fundamentally sound and gifted with some size. And, all of that has to match up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, I think we have Huntington boys basketball coach Rick Uhrig.
Girls, I think it's girls.
Oh, Kyle.
Too many
Kyle
coach Uhrigs out there.
My gosh, you guys, there's too many relatives out there in Huntington coaching right now. The Uhrigs, the Kellos. Coach, what's going on?
I've been called a lot of things, but Uhrig, I don't know about all that.
I didn't do it. Kyle, I didn't do it.
I know Hoops was putting you to that.
No, Kyle, I was trying to reel him in.
No, Uhrig's special to me. I played, so I could have been a lot worse.
Coach, heard you guys were cutting down the nets tonight. What is that called? Is that like a district quarterfinal, sectional championship? Where we're trying to figure this out on the air here.
I'll be honest with you. I think it's a district final, but we told the girls, last few years been battling to win a sectional and try to get there, and then of course they kind of ripped the rug out from under us this year. And I give Justin Coe and Craig Kearns credit. I told earlier in the week, I said if we win this thing, girls are going to want to cut these nets down. Our administration, and it's just something good for the kids. We didn't mean any disrespect by anything like that. And I know the not just the Southeast District, but everybody had to go to this format with the 7 divisions. But it's something the kids lose, and we felt like that it was the right thing to do. Give them a chance to do that. We tried to let some people leave before we did it, and our girls had a great time. Just got done eating some pizza here at the house, and they've enjoyed the win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's, like you said, if this was a regular year, that's what you would have done. And it's, especially girls that have been working for that for maybe 3 years and haven't had an opportunity to do it. And, they're your nets, do what you want with them. I mean, if we're being honest, I mean, it's about the kids anyway, so.
Absolutely. I told Craig, I said, hey, if we got to wait till midnight, kids will dance around in that locker room till we'll cut them down when nobody can see it, whatever you guys want to do. So, it was a special night for our kids, and they've worked really hard and played a good Zane Trace team tonight. Zane Trace gave fits 3 times, and you know how hard to beat a team 3 times. And we led in the fourth quarter both times against the first time once by 7 over there, and we were able to come back and win. And then, tonight off to a really good start, got out 11-2, and kind of never looked. But it was a tight game. It got about 6 at one point in the fourth quarter. Give Zane Trace credit. They got better as the year went on. And Josh does a great job, and it was a good basketball game. We ended up winning 33-6, a really low-scoring game.
That was my next question. Was this more of a defensive battle? Did you have to outscore them? But I think you kind of already answered it. Defensively, what did you guys do? Did you extend the floor? You play them in the half court?
He mixes it up, Coach.
I know
he mixes it up.
We want to know what he mixed it with.
So no, you guys would have been really, really proud of me. Zane Trace, the Gary Kello would have loved what I did tonight. We actually played that down in the scrimmage area, never crossed half court and played man to man. I played 2, maybe 3 possessions of zone all night, and they 3 on one of them. And we really did just sit and guard and done a really good job defending ball screens. And, the Houston girl gives, as a matchup nightmare. She's a really good basketball player and going to problem for the league here into the future. And they got some kids that can shoot. We kind of stayed out and really defended the ball one-on-one a lot. Our kids done a great. We only gave up 4 points in the first half. So the problem was we only scored I think 15. So, we couldn't really put the ball. We set basketball back quite a ways first half. But again, it was our kids played really, really hard and done a great job of what we had worked on for 3 straight days.
Yeah, Kyle, this is Jeran. I think the one thing I was going to mention to you, I got to watch you guys, ref you guys there the other night, and it's really the first time I've got to see you play this year. And, we've had you in and Allie Baker in here and talking to them. I really wanted to see kind of, what else, you had to go along with her. And I think the thing that probably impressed me the most was just the confidence that the other girls had in themselves. Like, I wasn't sure, hey, is Allie going to shoot the ball 20 or 30 times? But it was one of those things like, the McCloskey girl, she's open. She didn't hesitate. She shot the ball. And the same thing goes for the other couple girls. And I think that's the one thing that really helps you guys is, it's not, Allie might get a lot of the credit, but you've got some other girls that are more than capable of stepping up. They're not shy about shooting the ball when it's their turn to shoot.
Well, you let in any better for tonight because Allie only had 4 points tonight, made 1 field goal. So, I think Trace was sitting there thinking they could hold Allie to 4 points and 1 field goal and 1 or 2 foul line. Didn't really get too many shots. That's partially probably all a little bit too, but they really done a nice job. But man, she played such a good floor game tonight, getting the basketball to different people, and just a great job handling the ball. Tori got in a little bit of foul trouble early, and she done a great job commanding the floor. Braylee Houseworth, 15 tonight, just had a look in her eye, but she was definitely not ready to finish playing basketball for the season. Got good production out of Leah again. We were without Araya tonight, so she was able to play because of concussion from the game where you officiated, actually.
Oh, I remember that.
Did you not bring your whistle?
That was not my fault. That was not my fault.
Yeah, it was not your fault at all. She fell and she fell hard. And hurt herself that night. And we brought her back that night, got cleared, but the days wore on, started having some other symptoms. She was unable to go tonight, and got good production out of Savannah, and Lydia Black well off the bench. Tisdale played well off the bench tonight. So just an all-around great group effort. And again, kind of shows you where we've come as season's going on with the great action early from Allie, but now we're starting to get it from everybody.
Yeah, and when I was roughing the New Boston, they were playing, like a box and one, diamond one on Allie. Is that something, you've seen tonight? With tonight's win, you're going to play Alexander for the second time. You guys beat them early in the season. Is that something maybe you're expecting to see more of here as you keep going in the tournament?
Yeah, it's something we're seeing quite a bit. We've been working against it, a lot here lately in practice just because we're seeing it. So I'll be honest, Josh played us kind of a straight 3 tonight. He did that in the second half of the game last week. He started in a triangle and 2 this a week ago, and it kind of affected us a little bit. But and then tonight he played a flat 2-3, and they done a really good job in it. Houston's so long and athletic, and it's hard to get the ball to the rim and score around against her. But yeah, we expect to see that. I think Alexander will zone us a little bit. They'll try to put a little bit of man-to-man too. So yeah, I think that's something we definitely have to prepare for. Everybody's making sure they're trying to limit Alex at this point in the year.
Coach, where is that game against Alexander?
It is actually at the downtown gym in Waverly, which is a great venue, obviously, for basketball to get down there. Last few years, been up in the high school gym, and that's a great gym, but you guys know as well as I do, it's for the girls to be able to go down and play. That's kind of a combo, I guess you could say. So it'll be a good atmosphere. I think Piketon won tonight, so they play before us, and then we got Alexander at 8:00 on Monday night.
How do you feel about this matchup with Alexander? I mean, it's a team you've already played this year. Do you think that benefits you, or does it benefit Alexander?
I would say neither at this point. We finished the year with them last year. They was in the sectional final, and they brought everybody back. I mean, all 5 starters and first girl off the ball came back. So when we, this was one where they came to our place around Christmas time, and they were struggling a little bit. Lost a couple games there around Christmas time, but they've kind of hit their stride lately. Beat Athens at Athens a few weeks back, which was a really good win for them in their conference. So that I think they've won 6 out of their last 7 and are playing really, really good basketball. I know they beat Doug in Southeastern, I think, by 10 tonight. So we'll have to play well. I think it's good that our kids know, right, what we're getting ourselves into a little bit, but it's also kind of fresh blood. It's better than having to play Dino or somebody like that you just know too well, I guess you could say. So we're just glad we're getting a bit of fresh blood as far as somebody out big, at least. That was a hard game tonight to have to play Race the third time, and our whole bracket was full. Huntington and Westfall played tonight to play Portsmouth. Portsmouth and Alexander, the only two teams in our bracket that are in the SVC. So we kind of all got stuck together there, which you never like to see.
Right.
Well, Coach, man, congratulations on the win tonight. Before we let you go, I also want to congratulate you on your 100th coaching win. That's, anytime you can hit those milestones, it's huge, and feel fortunate to have been a little part of that there early on when you helped us at Westfall, and then to kind of watch you just go out on your own and get it done, man. It's really happy for you and proud of you, and just thankful I could kind of watch that happen.
No, I appreciate that. And you know how I feel about you, and you were one that helped me start it. And you got to have good players, good coaches, and again, Angie just got to coach enough games. I mean, that's the real key when you look at it. But I've been fortunate to be around a lot of good people, and I've been fortunate to be around a lot of good coaches before I did go out and got a lot of great guys and gals on my staff, and it makes it really fun. But again, it's all the players. Going back to what you were saying earlier, letting those kids cut this down and then getting them over here for some pizza tonight, and just seeing the smiles on the faces. That's why you do it, and it's a really fun year.
Good stuff, Coach. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to us tonight, and wish you the best of luck Monday.
Yep.
Monday down at Waverly against Alexander, and get that win. Maybe we'll get to talk to you next week also.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you, Coach.
See you.
Okay. So I think that's probably going to be our last coach of the night.
Yep.
But I thought we had a really good show tonight. We got to talk to the people down there at Fairland. We had Logan Elm in here. Got to talk to Coach Uhrig. Got to talk to Green,
yeah.
girls basketball. So getting a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different areas, and that's good. And we appreciate everybody tuning in and watching us and listening to the kids, listening to the coaches talk. And I always feel like I don't know how you feel about it, but I always feel like it's good for the coaches to get on here and talk. It gives the parents maybe a chance to listen to what the coaches have to say, maybe their thought processes and stuff. And what do you think? Just football coaches.
No, I think it's a good thing. Hopefully this continues, into the spring, and we deal with spring. And I don't know where this show is going to evolve to, but I mean, next fall would be really cool too, to get different football coaches' perspectives. Absolutely. And things like that. But, one of the biggest things is, you want to give your kids opportunities to do things, maybe they're not comfortable doing. Mm-hmm. And all of the athletes that we've had in here have always said, "Oh, I'm so nervous." And, they get in here,
they've all been great.
and they just kind of let that guard down. They just talk, and then they do a great job. So for me, I really like seeing that, and seeing the kids being able to kind of do something that they're not used to doing, and then when they get done with it, they say, "Hey, you know what? That wasn't so bad."
It's a skill maybe they can use later in life. They go for job interviews and stuff like that. So,
yep.
Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in and watching, and everybody calling in, and especially Logan Elm's players and coaches for coming in and talking to us. And we should be back next Thursday night about 8:30 p.m. right here on Sosa's YouTube channel. Have a good night.